everyone, today's recipe is a pumpkin bread with a cream cheese swirl, and this recipe is super easy to make because you're going to be using a cake mix as the base, so it always comes out great each and every time you make it. And I think this is a really pretty dessert or treat or breakfast or whatever you want to call it because it has that nice ribbon of cream cheese going throughout it. All right, so first add 4 ounces of cream cheese to a bowl. Make sure it's room temperature. Then a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 2½ teaspoons of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1 egg that is almost room temperature. And you want it to be room temp so that everything mixes well together and that it doesn't chill the cream cheese back up again and make it all clumpy. So just take your mixer, mix everything up, and you want it to be as smooth as you can get it. So now you're going to make the pumpkin bread part, and that is 1 15-ounce can of canned pumpkin. Make sure it's not the pumpkin pie filling because that already has the sugar and everything all in it. This is just the straight up pumpkin in a can. Now add in 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice. And if you don't have the pumpkin pie spice, you can see here that I've added all the ingredients to add instead of that. Now add in a 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. And I don't know if this happens to you guys or not, but I wash my measuring cups so much that the lettering and the numbers wear off of them. So I have to kind of write it on with a marker on the outside. But you know what? You got to do what you got to do, right? Okay, so add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and y'all know I measure that with my heart. And 3 large eggs. And then just take your mixer and mix that up really well until it is smooth. So now you're going to add in 1 box of yellow cake mix. Don't add the other ingredients that are listed on the box. You're just adding in the dry cake mix. And then use your mixer to mix that up really well. And then always scrape down the sides and the bottom of the bowl and then mix again just to make sure every bit is all incorporated. Okay, so now you're going to add it to the loaf pan, an 8 or 9 inch loaf pan that you've sprayed with nonstick spray, but you're only going to add in about 2/3 of the pumpkin bread batter. So don't add it all in yet, and then once you've added in about 2/3, smooth it, and now you're going to add the cream cheese filling on top of that. So this is what's going to make the swirl in the middle of the bread. So add the cream cheese filling and then smooth that evenly over that pumpkin batter, the pumpkin bread batter. And then you're going to spread the rest of the pumpkin bread batter over all of that. And this does make quite a bit of batter. It's going to fill your loaf pan up. So make sure you're using at least an 8 or 9 inch loaf pan because it is going to rise all the way to the top. So what I also like to do is I'll set it on a baking sheet because it does rise pretty high up on the pan just to catch any like drips or anything that might occur. And you want to bake this at 325 for an hour and 10 minutes or maybe an hour and 20 minutes. It depends on your ovens because ovens vary. All right, so once it's baked, you're going to set it on a cooling rack. Just let it sit here for 15 to 20 minutes or so. And you can see how much it puffed up and it kind of went over the side a little bit. I actually didn't get any drops or anything, any batter that came out of the pan or anything. It just kind of baked up over it. And because I'm kind of picky like that, I just kind of cut off the edges. It makes the loaf look a little bit neater that way, but you don't have to do that. That's just me. All right, so after 15-20 minutes, take it out of the pan and then just set it on your cooling rack to cool further. And you can eat this warm at room temp. You do want to keep this in the fridge because it has a cream cheese filling in the middle, but I would suggest eating this warm or at room temp. So it's the best texture if you do that. So cut off a slice, put it on a plate, and then microwave it for, I don't know, 10 or 15 seconds or so and eat it warm. It is delicious. And especially if you get a little bit of butter and spread spread it on the warm slice. It's so good. Okay, y'all, happy baking, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.